Yo, welcome back to Kwoz's Big Board. And remember, Kwoz's is not plural, it's possessive. Make sure you subscribe to it so you can always get that up-to-date draft talk, and as I unveil my board, I can share it with you. And remember, it's no secret to this. I made it quite clear what I wanted to do. I wanted to take care of defense this year, okay? So, but first, before we even get into it, gotta say what's up to Son Reddick. Yo, welcome back to Philly, homie. Welcome back. Don't worry, in a minute, Jonathan Gannon gonna have you dropping on that in the flats. Watch. Trust me, that's what we do here. Come on, act like, yo, y'all know I'm telling the truth, all right? That's some dumb shit that would happen right here in Philly. Take a bull who averages double-digit sacks and drop them back in the coverage. But watch Jonathan Gannon do it. Today, we're going to talk about receivers. Receivers, all right, when I talked about Jalen Hurts and I say a 61% completion rate, remember, I didn't even bat an eye. I know all y'all was like, yo, 61%, that's crazy. Well, let's look at the numbers, because remember, that completion percentage is based on those guys out there too, of completing the pass. It's the catching of it. Let's talk about those boys. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the tight ends and the wide receivers. We're going to go ahead and double them up because we got a little bit of time before the draft, and I want to make sure that we get everybody in. Now, my goal this year is to challenge every single room. Tight end, running back, O-line. Everybody gets challenged. We got 3 first-round picks. Let's do some shit, bro. Okay, let's not just stand pat. Let's do some shit. Challenge everybody. So when we build our team, if we gotta go get a QB, we'll go get a QBs in if we have to. But right now, let's build the damn team. So I'll start off with the tight ends. We start with Dallas Goedert. I gave him an A. I know, and here's why. Look, I remember Dallas Goedert. I thought he dropped some balls this year. I thought he dropped too many balls. But he had 56 catches and 802 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he had a catch completion rate of 73%. I know. I'm like, yo, it's just that we remember he dropped the big balls in those big moments. But I gave him an A. I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, he is a top 10 tight end. So leading off that room, that's pretty strong. Then we have Jack Stoll, the Cornhusker. Jack Stoll is a rookie. I mean, Zach Ertz started the year, but Jack Stoll finished it, and he had 4 completions for 22 yards at an 80% clip as far as catching the ball. So when we went to him, he caught it. But he's still a young boy, and I would say that he got better at blocking throughout the year. That wham block coming down on that little trap, he got better throughout the year. I think he'll be able to fit in there, but he's not an explosive player. The other backup tight end they thought would have some explosion actually got injured. Tyree Jackson. Tyree caught 3 balls and he had 22 yards. He had 1 touchdown. Thing about Tyree, he spent most of the year on IR. Can't make the club in the tub or something like that, whatever, however it goes. But the point is, he lost most of the season to injury. So I gave him an incomplete. Now, with that being said, A to our starting tight end, and then a C, and then an incomplete. That room is incomplete. But I do not think I'm going to use any draft capital to address that room. I'm not going to use any. What I'm going to do is take care of that in free agency. The 2 targets that the Eagles should have is, one of them is my favorite, Hayden Hurst. I would like to go ahead and get him with his draft buddy, Dallas Goedert. They came out in the same draft. Get Hayden Hurst as a free agent acquisition, and I think he'll round out the tight end group, and he'll push the other tight ends to be a more complete tight end. The other guy I would look at is Eric Ebron. He's been in the league, the Tar Heel. Eric Ebron, I always looked at him as, what he could be. Right now, he's settling for being a backup tight end. Anybody other than Dick Rod. I said Dick Rod. That's what they call him, Richard Rodgers. Dick Rod.
Pause.
I don't want him back. Anything but Dick Rod. Give me an established tight end. The receivers. And we're moving quick because, hey, I gotta go watch Snowfall. We'll start with right there at the top with Devontae Smith. He had 64 catches, 916 yards, 5 touchdowns. His completion rate was 61%. He had a QBR receiving rate, I don't even remember where I found this one at, of 103. That means not just when you threw it to him that he caught the ball. You threw it to him, he caught the ball. He usually either scored a touchdown or he gets some major yak or whatever. But I would say that's my number one moving forward. That's my number one receiver. Wide receiver number 2, Kwoz Watkins. 43 catches, 647 yards, 1 touchdown, and a 69 completion rate. They throw the ball to him 69% of the time. He catches the ball. Kwoz Watkins should have 3 touchdowns. That 91-yard joint, that 91-yard joint, Kwoz can't get caught from behind. You got to get in. And we all seen the other one he dropped in Denver. Joint hit him right there, butter, boom. That would have gave him 2 more touchdowns. He had 700 yards. As a number 2 receiver moving forward, I feel comfortable with Kwoz. He's one of the only receivers that go up and get the ball, and he has the speed to turn it on the defense. So that's my man. Then they say their number 3 receiver is Jalen Reagor. Now, he had 33 catches and 300 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. The problem right here, is he had a 58% completion rate. Now, I talked to y'all about that 61% rate that Jalen Hurts had. Now, Jalen Hurts without Jalen Reagor, without Zach Ertz, who is also at 58% catch rate, he's a 66% quarterback. I told you, you got to talk about what's going on the other side, too. So while we trying to get Zach Ertz, the all-time receiving record, he dropping balls. While you forcing Jalen Reagor down our throats half the damn year, he dropping balls. All right, so but let's add that into, maybe the targets need to change. Greg Ward, 7 catches, 95 yards, 3 touchdowns. I gave him an A. By the way, I'm sorry, I had Jalen Reagor as a C-. I'm not going to keep holding the fact that he was a first rounder against them. He's a receiver. He's not that explosive, but he tries. He fucks up sometimes, like in the playoff game, dropping that fumble. Didn't like it, but C-. I gave Greg Ward an A, and then I gave J. Jaw a C. I gave him a C because he helps block and he helps out on special teams with tackles and fumble recoveries. I don't think you can hold on to a receiver who's that limited this year. So, I want to challenge this entire room. One thing that would challenge this room is bring John Hightower back. John Hightower had a higher catch percentage than Reagor did. John Hightower faster than Reagor, and he was coming into his own, catching his little bombs, getting behind the defense, and then he didn't make the team. That's on him. That's on him for not making the team. But I am looking forward to see if he can make the team because I think he rounds out a nice receiving core. The other problem we had is we only kept 5 receivers. When one of them is limited, you can't just keep 5 receivers. So this year, please keep 6 or 7. Keep 6 or 7 receivers and be normal. You don't want to block yourself into a plus. They were really, really small. So when look, thank you, Kai. Thank you. I didn't want to end this segment talking about John Hightower. So with the chimes out, my offseason targets for wide receiver is San Francisco's fourth option, a guy named Juwan Jennings. He was in that same receiving class. I call it the greatest receiving class ever, the one Reagor came from, the one we got Kwoz from, and John Hightower, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. It was like 30 kids that went out of that draft who could catch a ball. All right. I would give him a shot. Maybe he challenges the room from a different perspective as another young guy trying to make it in the league. Now, in the draft, which is why we're all here, I am not taking a wide receiver before pick number 51. Now, at 51, my target is Alec Pierce, Cincinnati. Now, Alec Pierce is a 6'3" kid, 213 pounds. He had something like 800 yards. He had like 8 touchdowns. He's a 50-50 ball type guy. Alec Pierce, his comp for me would be Alshon Jeffrey with wheels. The kid ran a 4.33 in the combine. So I originally had him at 83. Forget about it. If you don't get him with pick number 51, he may already be going. But if he's not already going, he ain't lasting the 83. So at 51, look for Alec Pierce. Now, my backup plan, if Alec Pierce is already gone, the second receiver that I would like to target in this draft would be George Pickens. George Pickens out of Georgia. Listen, George Pickens had an injury and he had a down year. That's okay. He ran a 4.4 in the combine. The knee is back or whatever the injury was. He's back. My comp for George Pickens is actually T. Higgins, a taller guy. He's another 6'3" guy, ran a 4.4. He's one of those guys who can win on the edge with his size. And I think he has the pedigree to come in and go right to work, just like a T. Higgins did. So those would be my targets in the draft. And if I had to, if both of them are going and I'm waiting until 83, then obviously John Mechie III out of Alabama. He's more of a polished receiver, a little bit smaller. He's 6 foot. And but he runs a 4.5. I don't like a guy 6 foot running a 4.5. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this edition. Like I said, tight ends, wide receivers, we got them in the books.